Start again. Well, well, well. Professor Eric Cline, it is a great honour to talk to you. I've read a load of your books over the years. I've listened to your Great Courses Plus lectures, and it's quite surreal to be speaking to you now. I mean, if anybody doesn't know Eric Cline, this is one of his books, Great History of Archaeology in General. But most famously, this book, 1177 BC, the year civilization collapsed. I've spoken to archaeologists who are jealous of you, Eric, for writing this book. They say, Eric Cline, oh, I wish I'd written that book. Because is it a bestseller? Is it a bestseller?
That's I guess. I mean, I don't know what the definition of a bestseller is,
I
but
feel like it's got to be as bestseller as archaeology gets, I would think.
I think so. I mean, it's been translated now into 21 languages. I mean, but who would have guessed? I mean, I never thought that a book on the late Bronze Age collapse would be of interest to more than, I don't know, a dozen people in the world. And lo and behold, but I think it struck a nerve because of
I
what was
think so.
happening before the pandemic. And then during the pandemic, I think the way I say is, look, lightning struck. I got lucky. But,
Yeah, yeah.
but
But
I
there's
was,
definitely something in it. There's something compelling in that sort of the rise and fall of civilizations, and there's unfortunately there's a sense that I feel like we're heading towards a bit of a precipice.
yeah, that is a bit unfortunate, isn't it? And yet
Mm,
it makes the ancient past relevant. So I
mm.
think the secret with that book is I was telling stories about the period that I love, and my students say when we're reading it, we can hear your voice because it's my classroom lectures is what that book is. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
who
yeah.
knew?
And I mean,
Who knew?
and having listened to and loved your Great Courses Plus lectures, I sort of read it in your voice as well, which is great.
Well, sorry about that, but
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And hopefully, if we've got time today, also we will talk about your latest. I think it's your latest book, which is after 1177 BC. Really interesting. I mean, this is what comes after the Bronze Age collapse, which I think
yeah.
is often forgotten about. Really, we just assume it's a dark age and that's it.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Yeah, that's the
yeah,
sequel. And it's, what do you do if your society has collapsed? And we've actually got like 8 case studies as to
yeah,
how they came back, how they didn't come back. And unfortunately, I would say that's even more relevant today. So it's like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely. And it's not all doom and gloom. There's some.
yeah, just mostly.
Mostly. There are, as we'll talk about, there are some interesting cases of continuity and not everything falling apart. Most
Right,
things falling apart,
right.
but not everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So Eric, you've got what 30, 40 years of excavating under your belt. You've dug
Shh,
at
don't tell anybody. Yes,
30,
yes.
I think 30 sites or more than 30 sites, which
Well,
is
30
a lot.
seasons. I mean,
30 seasons. Okay.
I started the first excavation I went on was I was a sophomore in college, so I was 18, 19, and have gone almost every year since then. So it used to be that I picked a country I hadn't been to before and found a dig and went early, stayed late, and traveled through the country. And then as time went on, I picked sites that were more in my expertise and interest. So, yeah, I think I've been on 30 seasons, would be the way to put it. Because, an excavation season, a survey season can be 3 weeks or it could be 3 months or, it could be a year, depending. But yeah, so I think about 30. But, gosh, I don't even want to know how old I am right now, but
We
that's,
won't talk about that.
no, we won't talk about that. But basically, since college, I've gone almost every year on some sort of archaeological expedition. Yeah, yeah.
It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I read that I think you dug at Tel Megiddo for quite a long time, and that's always been an interesting site because of the link with Armageddon and the Battle of Tel
Yes.
Megiddo in the between the Canaanites and the Egyptians. When
Yep.
was it? Round
Yep.
about 1400 something BC or
Yeah,
1500
it
BC.
depends on when you want to date it, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's Tutmosis the third and the Canaanites, so 1450 somewhere like that BC. Yeah, I was there for 20 years, 1994 to 2014. Started out volunteer, worked my way up to co-director. So we went every other year. So I brought my kids, and they're T-shirts cut down to little infant size saying "I survived Armageddon." but, but yeah, it's a
Excellent,
fascinating
excellent.
site, and I actually one of the books I wrote is on the Chicago excavations there in the 1920s and 30s, and I had access to the journals, the diaries, the cables, the letters, including all the stuff where they said this is not for public consumption, top secret, and I'm like, sorry, dudes, it's 100 years later. This is now for public consumption. So, yeah, so Megiddo was really interesting. And that was a case where I basically said, I'm tired of digging at sites that nobody's ever heard of, and I have to explain at dinner parties where, X site is. I'm like, let me go to a site where everybody's eyes open up wide. Oh, my word. And so, since Megiddo is biblical Armageddon, when people would say, so where are you going this summer? I'm like, Armageddon. They're like, Armageddon's not a real place. And I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah,
Anyway, so that
yeah.
was a lot of fun. Plus, archaeologically speaking, there's 20 cities, one on top of another, with really complex stratigraphy. So, digging there was real archaeology. It was really interesting. And they're still making great finds every summer, even though I'm not there anymore.
Fantastic. Eric, I've spotted, I've done something here. Um, oh, what have I done?
You've hit a
Oh,
setting.
no, I've managed to live stream this by accident. I need to just cancel this off. One
Oh,
second,
nice.
which is fine. Sorry, everybody. This wasn't meant to be live on the channel.